You know, I've reserved my comments on this topic for a little bit far too long for my liking, and I pride myself on my ability to keep it 100 all times under any circumstances in front of any audience. There's this movement, Black Lives Matter, that's been going on, and I haven't chimed in on it because I don't know anything about that. I'm a blonde-haired, green-eyed white girl from New Orleans. I'll never understand what it's like to be black growing up in America. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend because I don't live like that. I can't even begin to understand what it's like. I teach predominantly black schools, and it hurts me that I teach young black males, and I try to teach them to live outside of their circumstances and to say, you know what, it doesn't matter where you come from. You could be anything the hell you want to be, bruh. But it's very hard once they leave my classroom and then they step outside into the world, and it's it's the complete opposite of everything that I try to teach them inside of it. And the ratio of them actually making it and the statistics against them are stacked up. It's ridiculous. It's insane. This case of Tamir Rice, I think, was finally like my breaking point. As if all these other things weren't bad enough, disgusting, sickening circumstances. I think this is it. Watching that video over and over again, less than 2 seconds, you gun this kid down. In every movie that I've ever seen, the cop gets out the car, gets behind his car and says, freeze. Now, granted, that's the movies, but movies have never gotten that stuff right. And for them to actually get it right on this time, how come the cops pulled up in the grass, didn't pull up in the street and pull out their guns and tell the boy to drop it and give that man a chance? He's not even a man. He's a little damn child, bruh. He's a kid. A kid. Careless human errors. But then they even make it worse. You want to know what's really disgusting? The prosecutor that handled the case brought it to a grand jury. Now, the purpose of a grand jury is to decide whether or not to bring charges against the individuals and bring them to trial for it. Before the grand jury even took place, the prosecutor had already made a statement and said these two cops weren't going to be held accountable for this crime. Let me tell you something, bro. As a prosecutor, you should resign, if not be fired, because it is not your damn job to decide the guilt or non-guilt of an individual. That's not your damn job. Your job is to present the evidence in the case and let the jury of his peers make the decision for themselves. That's your damn job. But instead, you brought witnesses to exonerate those two cops instead of bringing witnesses to sit there and say whether or not it's possible. You're down bad. And up until the people of this country get together and realize the system and how this system works, you're always going to be trapped and a victim of it. That's just my opinion. I mean, take it or leave it. It is what it is. The system is messed up from top to bottom. And there's nothing that I could do. There's nothing that you could do. But together we can do a whole lot. Once we get it all together, once we unite as a people, not as blacks, not as whites, not as Latinos, not as Asians, not nothing. But the moment that we get together, all of us, educate ourselves and go about this the right way, I believe that we can make positive change. I believe in the things that I teach my students, and I believe that one day things like this won't happen. I have to believe stuff like that. I have to believe that one day it's going to change, because if not, I can't go into my classroom and try to teach these kids that it doesn't matter what hood you come from, that you can make something of yourself. I have to believe that. Educate yourself. Teach your life.